Hey guys, I finally finished up Punisher Part 4, arguably one of the most annoying and frustrating quests to get done in this game. I'm using an SVD in preparation for Punisher Part 6, and then I opted to go with the thermal because it is raining, so it's going to make it a lot easier to spot enemies through the fog and rain of Tarkov. With those shots, I'm not sure where they came from exactly. It sounded like the road down near construction, so I start scanning the tree line. I don't see anything, so I decide that it's time to disengage and start running up towards the abandoned house. I do keep an eye to my rear just in case, but I'm also looking forward because there are possible PMC spawn points up near the abandoned house on the hill. If a thermal's not picking up the PMCs behind me, that means that it's most likely hiding in a bush just enough that the thermal doesn't show a heat signature. But here, I do see a heat signature, and I take the opportunity. Those PMCs were panicked. After I took down the first one, the other one thought the shots were actually coming from up towards the abandoned house on the hill. He had fired off a few rounds, so I do keep checking up in that direction, just in case there's someone up there. And I am always conscious of those initial shots that came my way from where I believe is construction spawn. I decide to stop off at this stash. I figure I'm kind of safe for the moment, but with the rain, I have real bad paranoia. Sometimes a raindrop hits, I think it's a PMC, so you'll see me moving kind of in a real frantic fashion. This is another benefit of using a thermal. I'm able to see where the downed bodies are. So on maps like Woods and Shoreline, if someone dies in thick brush where it's hard to see them from a distance, I do get to find their bodies a lot easier. Once again, I'm being very cautious, keeping my eyes up towards the abandoned house spawn area, just in case that PMC that was shooting in that direction did see someone up there and thought that that's where he was being shot from. Now I am looking for the second PMC body just to confirm that I downed him and hopefully get some slightly better loot. But I don't see it initially here, so I decided to head to a little bit higher ground that'll also let me scout the area around me in case there is someone lurking. Using the thermal here, I'm able to locate the second PMC's body, so I start making my way over to loot that corpse. Because of the angle of the ground where this PMC ended up dying, that's why I missed him on my initial scan for where he was. I had been hearing some varied gunfire from towards power station, so I decided to head this way. I saw a body down in the center of power station and the door was closed, so I decided to try and just be patient, see if someone was inside, and post up with a straight line of sight to the door. My patience paid off, and it got me another kill for Punisher Part 4. The downside of this kill is the body is directly outside the door, so I'm kind of a sitting duck here while I'm looting, so I try to be as fast as I can, and it leads to me dropping the MRE, which I should have just eaten in hindsight. He did have a full backpack of loot though, so overall it was a big win for me. I did another raid immediately after that back into shoreline because with the thermal, the rain is actually one of the few weather types that I will enjoy playing in. Sunny, people can see me easier. If it's cloudy, people can see me easier. But with the rain, people that are using standard optics, there's a fog barrier that gets created that the thermal sees right through. So I actually have a range advantage over other people with better optics. I spawned at the lighthouse exit PMC spawn, so I decided I just have to watch the path up to the resort from other areas such as Sunken Village, possibly try to get down in between the resort and power plant, and hopefully pick up the last 2 kills that I need. I get really lucky here, a PMC comes around the rocks, it doesn't even see me, and we're probably only about 50 meters apart from each other. It's another easy kill for this quest. With only 1 PMC left to go, I'm hoping he has a teammate. He sadly doesn't, so I go to loot the body, and I end up extracting from this raid with his loot, and picking up a few extra scav kills as well. This was another immediate refill energy, refill hydration, and get back in while it's still raining to take advantage of that longer range that I'm going to have with thermal. At this point, I don't care if I die, I just want that last kill, and the thermal has already paid itself by netting me over half the kills that I needed for this quest. I'm keeping an eye throughout the village. Hopefully I see someone in there, but I will try to make my way up to the resort and try to catch people that are going into resort or just leaving if they're in there early enough in the raid. Normally I would want to loot everything in this village, but my priority is getting those kills to finish this quest. That grenade is a sign that I need to head in that direction to hopefully pick up that kill. I still keep an eye towards cottage because Sanitar and the boys might be there, and I really don't want to die to a shot in the back from a mile away, which is what Sanitar's guards are well known for. Based on the sound of the grenade exploding, I figure they have to be coming up the path from the lighthouse exit into the shoreline resort. There are a few vantage points that can overlook that path. There's the camping spot above the truck where scavs will spawn. There's also areas along the rocks that can be used to look into the entrance and exit at the backside of the resort. And that's where I'm hoping to pick up those kills. Those shots confirm my thoughts on where PMCs are, and hopefully I can pick up the kill. For me, this is one of the scarier approaches because of the slope of the ground. People could be at the crest of the hill and the thermal is completely useless at picking them out until their head pops up, and if I'm moving forward, that gives them free rein to shoot me before I can even ADS. I see thermal signatures in the distance, but I don't have clear line of sight due to the heavy tree cover. I see what I believe is a body down there, which means they're moving towards the back of that, towards the wall. So I decide to take a few shots. They are slowing down and stopping, so I decide to push forward. It turns out that body that I thought was down was actually a corpse and someone looting it. I began taking shots from this flank. I see the PMC that was doing it and decide to just go full bore. And I got him. That's all I cared about. At this point, I can die happy. I finished the PMC portion of Punisher Part 4. The thermal got me the majority of the kills I needed for the quest in half the time that it would normally take me if I was not running it. I cannot recommend this method enough. After this, it was a simple act of just killing scavs on woods with a 12 gauge, which was slightly more annoying. Luckily, Sturman and his guards were around to keep me company and give me a handful of the scav kills that I needed. I also ended up getting out with a Red Rebel and 2 Sturman keys over the course of these raids. This was a nice 3 million ruble payday. And with that, Punisher Part 4 is wrapped up. I did this over the course of about 3 weekends, only playing about 2 to 3 hours each of those weekends. So it is possible to do for a casual player. You just have to know some tips and tricks that make it much easier than trying to just push your way through by rushing into a resort with an SMG or a shotgun. I highly recommend using the thermal method. If you don't like it, you can always use a cheaper method like the SMG into resort. I just never have luck doing it that way. I'm currently working on Punisher Part 5, and I actually have this entire week off for a long-awaited vacation, so I might actually have that finished before this weekend, and then I'll be on to Punisher Part 6, which is the last quest in that quest line. I want to thank you guys for watching. I've got another series that I'm starting up soon, and then hopefully wipe happens soon. I know I keep saying it, but we've got to be getting close. They're doing an all bosses spawning event right now. I can't imagine that we are that far from a wipe. So go ahead and comment down below if there's any specific questline you'd like to see a more casual player's approach to. Hit the like button and subscribe so that way you get notifications when I do put out new videos. I hopefully will be putting out 2 to 3 videos by the end of this week. Just kind of depends on what else I choose to do with my vacation. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.